Well, speaking of muscles flexing, you brought a couple people with you today.
I did.
And let's bring in the first person. All right. So one of the people you brought in today is one of your boxers.
Yeah.
Anthony Peterson.
Yes, sir.
Man, I love this dude, man. Anthony is he's so old school, you know, like his spirit is old school and you know, when I first met him, you know, it was just like, you know, another boxer, you know, but as we started to talk on the phone and I started to hear his story and just the whole thing was just like drew me in, and then his genuineness, because you know, I do some bad things sometimes, but I look at myself as a genuine person. I try to be genuine with as many people as I can, because I believe that being genuine is what people are looking for. It's a thing that we can't find. You know, you can't find people who really honestly do what they say they're gonna do and say what they're gonna do. You know, usually they tell you something and it's really to throw you off so that they can get from you what they're trying to get, and once they get it, they're gone. You know, like a turkey behind some corn. But you know, with Anthony, it's just a little different. You know, this dude got a different magnetism to itself that I just, you know, I just fell in love with, man.
And appreciate that, Rick.
I really like this dude, man.
Okay. And you're actually a junior welterweight.
Yes, sir.
You were boxing for how long?
28 years now.
28 years
I've been boxing. Professional, 18.
18.
Yeah, I made my debut September 25th of 04 when Roy Jones fought Glenn Johnson.
Okay. Okay, and how old are you?
I'm 37.
Okay. And you're trying to get to a championship level, but you haven't actually gotten a shot yet.
Facts.
And why is that?
Just the way boxing goes. You know, a lot of people don't understand that boxing is it's not a national commission. Whereas though I can appeal to somebody like, look, I'm not fighting for a championship. It's like, it's all different commissioners. Kentucky, Baltimore, New York, all of them have different commissioners. So the NBA, NFL, and the rest of the organization, the key word is the N-word, national organization. Boxing don't have that. So I can appeal to Kentucky commissioner. They be like, okay, well, we still got California, we still got Texas. So it's like, it's no real, like, how can I say this? Like with the Colin Kaepernick situation, where it was a national stage where what happened to him. With me, like I said, if it's not DC pulling for me, then it's nothing at all.
Got it. And you were actually supposed to have a major fight, but then something happened to the promoter's dad.
Yes. The October 1st, I was supposed to perform in DC, but one of my guys, my best friend, actually, Buddy, he was killed in DC. Yeah.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, well, you're in good hands right here.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, you know, when I looked at boxing and what he was saying about it not having a national organization that governs it, and it kind of, it's a double-edged sword, because it allows guys like me to come into the game, you know, where there's nobody that can say that I ain't in the game. You know, if Ant agrees to work with me, you know, and allow me to advise him or manage him or however, then now I'm a franchise player. You know, I got
exactly.
I got a team that we working with. So on some aspects, it's a good thing, but then by not having a government body, so these guys, say for instance like Ant is a high risk fighter. For any of those guys got the belts, now I don't care who they are, they would be worried about losing to Ant. So we have to create a value in Ant to where now these guys are getting some benefit out of it.
Right.
Because if they're not getting any benefit out of it, then they don't want to fight a guy that they might lose to.
Right.
You know, boxing is not like, you know, you would think it is, where, like saying basketball, the best guys want to play against the best guys, you know. In tennis, you want to play against the best. Well, boxing is more about how much money can I make, and
right,
how can I stay undefeated.
It's marketing.
Right.
I look at boxing as a pure marketing sport. If this fight here could draw a crowd and make money, it doesn't matter how many wins or losses either person has.
Right.
Am I right?
Right.
That's right. Absolutely right.
Which is why you've seen Jake Paul get to the heights of where he is.
Correct.
He was a YouTuber.
Yeah.
but he's got a hell of a marketing machine behind him.
Yeah, and then with me, it's hard to sell me because, like I said, my life considered to the boxing world is boring. I don't drive expensive cars. I don't have any kids or a child support agency chasing me, or I don't go on YouTube and knock people out for, world star videos and stuff like that. So it's pretty much like I stay to myself, very humble. Work ethic is off the chain, and I'm just real cool. So that's in boxing though. They don't want to hear that. They want to hear something that that's going to sell.
Well, the same thing like the rap music.
Yeah,
they want, did you get caught with a pistol? If you get caught with a pistol, you'll be all over the news. Oh, Anthony Peterson got caught with a pistol. If you hit a girl or a woman or
anything
like that, then they're gonna write about it. But when you do good stuff like Ant does the same stuff I do, goes out and talk to kids at school,
high school, junior high school,
goes to senior citizen home and help out, all the stuff that a person should do. And then Ant them got a backstory too. He was homeless one time too.
Yeah, from a mother, 12, same mother and father. There's 12 of us in all.
Wow.
My brother Lamont Peterson is a 2-time world champion.
Oh, okay.
He fought Earl Spence, Danny Garcia, Timothy Bradley. He fought them all. We came out together, but like I said, it was kind of hard to put me in the mix because people just didn't want to fight me because they were like, oh, it's a risk that you would take, but the reward wasn't high. So you want
it's like a no-win.
Right. You want to make a lot of money
fighting
fighting
a boxer to fight you. Yeah,
exactly.
And then he done sparred with most of them too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, yeah. I remember when I interviewed Buster Douglas. We talked about what led up to the Mike Tyson fight. What some people don't know was that fight was in Japan because no American promoter wanted to take it on. They felt that no one was going to come see this unknown guy named Buster Douglas fight Mike Tyson. They couldn't fill a big arena, so they had to take it to Japan. The odds were so stacked against Buster Douglas winning that it was just a filler fight until he got to fight Holyfield. Lo and behold, he ends up doing the biggest upset in sports history when he beat Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
But at that time, as big as Mike Tyson was, he couldn't get a single arena in America to take on that fight because the guy he was fighting was a total unknown, Buster Douglas. So it almost sounds like a similar kind of situation.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Where you may have the skill level to fight some of these top guys, but they can't fill up an arena because of your name, unfortunately.
Exactly.
Yeah?
That's what it is. But, of course, working with Rick now and met like 7 different celebrities. Like we go to Dallas or wherever we go. Everybody know this guy's like having a pink elephant in my pocket. You know what I mean? So I don't have to do all the extra curricular activities and antics outside of boxing to make my name, bigger than what it is. My social media got bigger since, we've started doing business.
Right. And you actually learned about Freeway Rick Ross by watching VladTV interviews.
Exactly.
So it's all kind of full circle.
I'm a big VladTV fan because I'm a big Tupac fan. I know a lot of Tupac stories was on Vlad. So I would go watch VladTV to hear Tupac story. And I saw a guy said, Rick Ross. I'm like, hold up. I know a rapper named Rick Ross. Who is this dude? So I tuned into it and I'm like, oh, like, my bad. I didn't know. But I actually laughed at it. But next thing you know now, we sitting right here together.
Well, I always told you though, Vlad, one of the reasons that I really, every time you call me, I do your shows because I know so many young black guys, man, they watch your show and they tell me how much information that they're getting from, they didn't say no other show, but when I talk, like, man, every time you speak, you always giving up some game, and you sincere with what you do. And I know that I don't have nowhere else that I can get the word out like this here. It be that back and forth, but I also understand, guys like Ant learn about me from you, and for me, it's more valuable for me to have them to understand what I do and how I'm operating because that gives them an opportunity to know that there's some other ways that I don't have to keep going the same way, because Ant gonna be a millionaire outside of the ring before he become a millionaire in the ring.
Because I am into acting and modeling as well. If I keep my shirt on, trust me. I told you I was 37, but my next birthday I'll be 18 up under here. Trust me.
There we go. There we go. Okay, and you brought in another guy today. You brought in movie and music video director Mike Ho, and you guys are actually working on a movie project together.
Absolutely, absolutely. The movie.
The movie.
The movie. Ain't but one movie that's the movie in my eyes. I mean, everybody else got their own picks, but I got one movie that I've been working on for about 35 years now. Man, the late George Jackson, me and him was working on it for a little while. But anyway, man, I'm in Detroit, right? And just crazy, I was shooting a low budget movie in Detroit. Some guys had got me to be in their movie. And then I'm sitting on the couch in my hotel room and I'm relaxing and I get a call, man. I answer the call and I was like, hello? Because I answer all my numbers, because I told y'all somebody owed me $10 million. I don't know who they was. This might be that guy. So I pick up the phone and I was like, yeah, hello? And he was like, hi, Rick? And I was like, yeah. I was like, who this? And he said, Mike. I said, Mike who? He said, Mike Ho, I just got finished talking to Reginald Hutton and he told me that I can direct your movie if you okay it. Mm-hmm. And I said, oh yeah? So we talked for a little while, just chitter-chattering about life. And I said, man, let me meet you when I get back to LA. We'll meet, right? Yeah. So we go to dinner at Crossroads. And just like 2 days later, we meet, and 2 days after we talk on the phone, I'm in Detroit. I'm like, I'll be flying back in LA. We're gonna go sit down. So we go sit down, man. And this guy come to the table, man. He pulls out his laptop and he just goes running my life down to me. I'm like, hold up, man, you just got hired 2 days ago and you did all this shit that you did, man. I said, man.
Crash course right there, man.
I'm impressed. I said, man, you my guy.
Yeah.
And I just been excited, and then once I saw all of the work that he's done, and just saw the benefits that he's gonna bring to the table, I was just like, man, Reggie, I want that guy. I want him bad.
I appreciate you, man. When his story fell on my desk, it's Freeway, right? So, I've been in transition to the narrative space for a long time. I've done a lot of body of work, thanks to God for all the artists that, trust me with the vision to do the work that I've done. And, when his story fell on my desk, it was a transitional period of sense of like, well, I wanted to do something that was impactful in film. I got one of my first movies, action is great, but there's something about true stories and especially his story that I feel like just never been told the right way. And I told him, and he feels the same way. And I said, well, what was the first thing I said when I sat down with him was like, if we're going to tell your story, we got to be unsafe. Because I feel like when everyone approaches something with him, even when whether it's a show that, he's not happy with, of course, all the things that you hear about Freeway, it's always a safe version of him. We've never seen the raw and uncut true story of what Ross is saying. And that's the things that I wanted to make sure as the director of the film was to not just highlight. Everyone wants to talk about, the first thing they want to talk about, you already know what they want to talk about. It's the drugs and all that. But it's about who he was and his intelligent mind and who he was prior. He didn't know how to read. And I told him this. You didn't know how to read, yet he was the most efficient, smartest businessman that was out there in the streets that can conduct that, who was not affiliated, who wasn't really doing gang work like that, and just wanted to be a great businessman and do things that were really good. And people, I think, have the misconception of him as well, for the people who don't know him, about how kind of genuine of a person he is and how much love there is in his heart and what he's doing, especially now.
Is there a name for the movie?
Not yet. We just getting started.
Okay.
And the name I don't really care what we name it. I don't care, because one of the things that what I was trying to tell you earlier is that what I looked at now, right? I had this epiphany that everything I've been doing has been for the movie. I only was selling, in the weed business because I knew that me getting in the weed business would make the movie bigger. More people talking, interviews, make people talk. Going out selling my book, make people talk, making friends for people who are now want to know more about the movie. They want to see the visual version of what the book talked about, what I've been talking about on Vlad. They're going to want to see somebody put that together. They want to see a brilliant mind, directed, and it was my job, Reggie did it, but, for me, I got to have to write everything with this movie, because this movie really, I feel that this movie is going to be sacred to really the whole United States. Blacks are going to take it to another level, because they already do. Man, I'd have people come up and tell me stuff you wouldn't even believe, man. They say to me in airports and on the streets, it's like totally melt me, man. Like I just lose all control, because one kid came up to me one day, man, I think I was in Houston airport. He said, man, I love you, Rick. you make smart look good. And I was like, what? So you saying that some of our people don't want to be smart because it don't look good? You know, it's not cool. And I mean, just so much, man, that you know, I can't even thank you enough for allowing me to come on your shows, you know. It's just been crazy, you know, because the word gets out. Just like right now, when they see me and Mike together, they're gonna know my movie is real. I've been talking about this movie for 35 years. So some people look at me like I'm crazy, it's never gonna happen.
Right.
You know, they tell me like, why they do Frank Lucas story first? You know, why they do this movie? Why they doing Big Meech and not your story? But to me, I could have gave it to some, you know, to some quack, you know, who never touched South Central LA, never saw it, you know, and let him do it. And he probably would have, you know, did whatever, you know, probably would have had us shooting at each other and you know, like I see this Snowfall stuff. You know, I started watching Snowfall finally.
Well, you're watching Snowfall now.
I'm watching Snowfall. Thanks to Dave Mays, you know, the guy who used to own the Source magazine.
Yeah, I know Dave.
Dave talked me into it, you know. And we did a show called After the Snow, so I have to go on in and bear through Snowfall. You know, like, oh my goodness.
They're about to do the final season, actually. Season 6 is filming right now.
Good. It's about time. The last season was horrible. It'd be hard for me to sit there and watch sometimes. Yeah. You know, it's so much bullshit. They had a lion in South Central LA. Or a tiger, one of them.
Yeah, you telling me.
In South Central LA, you know, and this guy's feeding the lion human beings. And like, oh my goodness, come on, man. This is really history that they fucking with. This is not just like you just roll the TV. Because people know that there's some real in that show. Everybody know that there's some real in that show. So when you fucking with history, man, this is really our history. This would be like taking slavery and playing with slavery. That's how delicate this story really is. You know, and for somebody to take it and butcher it up and you know, and did what John did, or what allowed them to do. Either way, I don't care who did it, but it happened. I don't think that they should be playing with our history like that, you know.
Especially when the person's still alive.
Exactly.
That's the issue.
Who's the dream actor that'll play Freeway Ricky Ross?
Let me tell you this, we had the same person.
Go ahead.
I don't know, you know, they say we shouldn't say who we want.
We should. I know that's one thing they told us, like, yo, don't say nothing yet.
Yeah, they don't really want us to talk about who the actor is because it makes it harder for negotiation.
Right.
If they know I want him and he want him, they gonna be like, you in high demand, buddy.
Well, but it also might put the word out and get the actual actor interested in it. See, double-edged sword here. You know,
so you want to play with the sword?
Might actually cut in your favor.
I'll play with it. You say what you say earlier. Don't be safe.
Don't be safe.
That's what he just said. Don't be safe.
So who do you want to play?
Childish Gambino.
Huh. Okay. Childish Gambino. I mean, a hell of an actor.
Hell of an actor.
Hell of a creative mind as well. He may want to co-direct, but you know.
He's a very creative. Yeah, he's in that creative space too. You know,
which might not be a bad thing.
No, you know, I'm always down to collaborate. You know, as a director, I think there's always room to. I mean, it's a whole collaboration job, whether you're working with actors or not. Every actor is somewhat, to me, is a director in a sense of understanding a scene and getting things done. But I think he would be brilliant for it. He was the first name that kind of came up over dinner when we had it, and like you said, man, he's just a genius in what he does. You know. And we looked at a few photos and it was kind of jarring, right? When we saw it, it was like, yo, this is Rick, that's crazy. You know?
Well, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, we're hoping to be shooting around January, February next year.
Oh,
hoping.
Right around the corner.
Hoping.
Yeah, it's been moving pretty fast, you know? So,
okay.
You know, we're hoping it moves fast. But I was telling him what was crazy was that the fact that I'm from Nicaragua.
Okay.
So, like, when I got the script and just knowing the story in the background, it's like...
the Iran-Contra kind of connection, yeah.
Yeah, and, you know, my great-grandpa was president of Nicaragua. So, it's like,
okay.
There's a lot of, like, you know, I know it's going to have a lot of... There's going to be a lot of conversations when it comes out because of, like, you know, the work I do and my country really supports me. So, I know it's going to be a great conversational piece once they find out.
It will.
I'm telling a little bit of Nicaragua's history as well, you know, so it's going to be interesting.
That's what it is. Freeway Ricky Ross, Mike Ho, Anthony Peterson. Man, appreciate y'all coming in.
Thanks for having me.
You know what I'm saying? Wish you all the best. All three of y'all.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
That's what it is, man. Until next time. Peace.
Peace.